I think the main question is, are subscription boxes worth it? Specifically, my FairyLoot box. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Normally, I do my mood reading vlogs, or I try to finish a series. This time, I thought we would read some of my books that I get from FairyLoot subscription and see if those books are worth what we pay to get such pretty versions of them. I have had my FairyLoot subscription now for maybe 6 months. Have I read a book? No. No, I haven't. And that's just because I have this never ending TBR and I have like 400 books on it. So they kind of sit in their pretty section and I never touch them and I just get so much joy from looking at them. So first off, do I get joy from looking at those books? Absolutely. And to me, that is worth the price. Let's see if reading them makes them just as worth it. So let me go grab a couple of them and let's go through what our options are for this reading vlog. These are the four I've had my eye on for quite a while now. Look at these edges. So the first one is A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. This was in a YA box, and look at those. It says, London, 1923, dragons soar through the skies and protests erupt on the street. But Vivian Featherswallow isn't worried. She's going to follow the rules and get an internship studying dragon languages. By midnight, Viv has started a civil war. With her parents arrested and her little sister missing, all the safety Viv has worked for is collapsing around her. So when a lifeline is offered in the form of a mysterious job, she grabs it. Arriving at Bletchley Park, Viv discovers that she's been recruited to uncover the secrets of a hidden dragon language. If she succeeds, she and her family can all go home again. If she doesn't, they all die. But the more Viv learns, the more she realizes that the bubble she's grown up in isn't as safe as she thought, and eventually she must decide what war is really worth fighting. That actually sounds pretty amazing. This has been out for quite a while, and I only have the FairyLoot edition. This sounds really good, though. I think this is a YA fantasy. So that is our first option. I picked 4 books, but we'll probably only get to 3. That way I have kind of like a mood read audible. The next one is The Courting of Bristol Keats. And I'm obsessed with mushrooms. I don't know if you could tell, but look at this. I literally needed this specifically for the mushrooms on it. I don't really know anything about this. Ooh, it has Fae in it though. Never make a deal with the Fae. After losing both their parents, Bristol Keats and her sister struggle to stay afloat in their small, quiet town of Bowskeet. When Bristol begins to receive letters from an aunt she's never heard of, who promises to help, she discovers that everything she thought she knew about her family is a lie. Her father might even still be alive, kidnapped by terrifying creatures from another realm. Desperate to save her father, Bristol journeys to a land of gods, fae, and monsters. There, she makes a deadly bargain with the fae leader, Tigan. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I say it. But what she doesn't know is that he's the one who drove her parents to live a life on the run. And he is just as determined as she is to find her father, dead or alive. Why have I not read this yet? Sorry. I'm getting a little aggressive and excited because that sounds amazing. Oh, the betrayal. I'm all jacked for that one, I think. I don't know. That one seems like it's going to be on there. The next one is The Rose Bargain. And there are the edges. This is just such a girly, pretty book. I know this is kind of like The Bachelor but make it Fae type thing. England, 1848. The season is officially open and high society girls line up to bargain with the immortal Queen Morin for qualities that will win them suitors. A perfect smile for the loss of a finger, an exquisite talent for piano in exchange for one's happiest childhood memory. Lady Ivy Benton plans to use her bargain to uncover the truth about what happened to her beloved sister Lydia, whose mysterious disappearance and reappearance means the Benton family have been cast out by polite society. But instead, Ivy's season arrives with a shocking twist. The queen announces a competition to win the hand of her fae son, Prince Bram. Marrying the prince is a prize that could save Ivy's family from ruin. Yet every glittering fae deal has a rotting heart, and amidst lavish balls, vicious competitions, and a dangerous alliance with the prince's irresistible brother, Prince Emmett, Ivy realizes that at the center of this contest lies a dark plot that could destroy all of England, and her heart with it. The back says, when one makes a fairy bargain, one must be prepared to pay the price. Another one that honestly, So far, FairyLoot seems to have picked some banging choices. Like, these all sound amazing so far. And last but not least, the Windweaver. This one has feather edges. A prophecy reignited, a storm unleashed, a love that could shatter everything. In war-torn Anwen, fear of magic plagues every corner of the kingdom, and halflings like Raya Fleetwood are hunted and killed. When Raya is sentenced to death, her execution is interrupted by an unexpected savior, the formidable Commander Scythe. Feared by both his men and his enemies as a merciless fighter on the battlefield, Scythe is far more terrifying than the hangman's noose. In the clutches of this new enemy, Raya finds herself fighting for her life, forced to travel to the Northlands with her fearsome captor. But she is no ordinary halfling. The strange birthmark on her chest and the wind she instinctively calls forth means she is a remnant, one of 4 souls fated to restore the balance of magic or die trying. But mastering the power she holds is only the beginning. A forbidden desire for the commander starts to burn fiercely, while this tempest within her is waiting to be released, and Raya must choose her heart or her kingdom. Come on. So yeah, I think we're set up for a really good time over the next, week, 2 weeks, however long it takes me to read at least 3 of these books. Let's go make a coffee and decide what we're going to read first. I decided our first book for this vlog is going to be The Windweaver by Julie Johnson. I think these edges are pretty, but not the best FairyLoot has to offer. However, the book itself is gorgeous. This is the book's hardcover, and honestly, this is the reason I wanted this version of it. The end papers. I'm assuming these are some of our main characters. One of fire, one of water and ice, maybe. And she looks like she's of wind. I don't even remember what the synopsis was of the book when I read it to you because it's been a little bit. Oh, and she signed this version. Cool. So we will be starting with The Windweaver by Julie Johnson and see what we think of this one. It has been about 3 hours since I last saw you guys, and we're about 203 pages in to The Windweaver. Now, that's about halfway through the book, and what's happened in this book, I honestly couldn't tell you. Not much, but did that stop me from completely binging this all morning today? No, I'm having a good time. Our female main character was on the run from something. Like a big fire had gone through her village, so she was on the run. She gets captured by these soldiers, and I don't even know how to tell you anything without literally just telling you the story, but let me just say not much has happened. We are still on a journey to wherever it is we're going to, and there have been some like little snippets along the way of like hints at what's going on and kind of where the plot's going here. I don't know, it's just we're getting breadcrumbs. And I'm definitely enjoying it. Really, all we know is that where our female main character's from, they don't like halflings, which is like half fae, half human. They don't like magic. That's it. That's really what we know, and we really haven't gone into any of the politics of the land, or like there's been names of different lands that are located around where she's from, but we don't know much about the people ruling those lands. Like I feel just like kind of left in the dark a little bit, and maybe that's what we're supposed to feel. Like maybe we're seeing it through our FMC's eyes. I don't know. All I know is I am having a good time, and I'm going to continue this story. I'll probably, if I don't finish this by tonight, oh, let me see. It's like 500 pages. So I'll either finish this later tonight or tomorrow morning, and I'll just come back and update you when I do, because there's not too much going on. If it gets interesting, like crazy interesting, I'll bring you back before. Okay, so right after I made that little update in the car yesterday, the story finally started like picking up a little bit. I kind of have an idea of like the backstory of the world and a little bit more of the politics. We did meet a new character, and now I have no idea who like our love interest is or if there's going to be multiple ones. So I'm a little confused there, but it did get a little better. Something I don't like though is when you have a strong FMC and the male treats her as like this weak little dove that needs to be protected. I don't like that. It's this like constant, she's trying to put herself out there and do better and learn, and he just wants to shove her in a tower and keep her safe. Dude, no. Let her be the strong woman she is. So that's a little agitating to me. And I don't feel like this tension and chemistry between who I assume was or who, I don't know if he is or not, who I thought is the male love interest. So I'm a little confused at who that's supposed to be. But otherwise, it did pick up. Like literally a couple pages after I updated you. So I'm going to read the rest of this book, and I'll bring you back for my thoughts on the whole thing. I finished Windweaver. Let's talk about it. This one's a little bit difficult for me because about 50 to 60% of the book, nothing happened. I was there for it. It was like an okay time. I wasn't disliking my time reading, but it wasn't like exciting and pulling me in, and I had no idea what the plot was. Plot was still a mystery, and we had a very strong FMC that was being made to be weak in the sense that like no one will teach her. Everyone wants to lock her up. When I say everyone, I mean our male main character. As we get past that 60% mark, though, certain things start becoming more apparent. You get a little bit of the plot. You find out that there are, and these aren't major spoilers. There are some minor spoilers, so if you don't want to know, don't listen. But you do find out that there are 4 different people that have like this main elemental magic. They are wind, or they are fire, or water, or earth, and that they have been looking for air for a long time, which is her, and they have no idea where earth is. Okay, there's our plot, right? We need to get them all together so that things can be good again. Except, like, there really wasn't any mention made really about finding earth or how to go about doing that. And I honestly was going to rate this book about 2 stars, being generous. But then the ending of this book saved it. Because the ending of this book gave me the action and adventure and a glimpse at a possible new MMC that saved this book for me. The man at the end and the way he treats her is how she should be treated. Ugh. She is a strong FMC. She's not weak. She wants to do better. She wants to go out there and fight. He lets her do that. He supports her in that. Our first MMC, like, I don't know, is this supposed to be a love triangle? Is this supposed to be a reverse harem? I have no idea. All I know is I don't like the first guy and I like the second guy, and I need more of him in book 2. And we get an epic battle where they're using their magic, and we don't really get to see that throughout the entire book. I need more of that because that was great. Loved it. Every second of that ending, I love. And our FMC has this really badass part at the end. And I'm just like, hello, where has this been? Where was this whole time we were reading the book? Because I'm so jacked about it. It was great. So the ending saved this book for me. I think I gave it like a 3 or 3.25 stars. And I'm really excited to read the next book and see if we get more of that. Because if we get more of that, it will be a great freaking series. great series if we get more of what was at the end, The Wind Weaver. With that being said, it's time to pick our next book of our reading vlog. And I decided I think we're going to go with The Rose Bargain by Sasha Peyton Smith. When one makes a fairy bargain, one must be prepared to pay the price. Here's the edges of this one. It really is a gorgeous edition. Look at this hardcover. Absolutely stunning. Gorgeous book. This is a book that's going to have fae in it. I'm not sure how big of a part the fae are going to play, as well as humans. The queen offers these deals to the girls that want to take them. And it can be, I want a better smile. And the queen will be like, yep, sure, here's your better smile, but I'm going to take a finger for that. Or she's going to take something in return for whatever that favor is that you're asking. And this year, her son is up for grabs, and she's going to have this like little competition to see who is going to marry her son. And I'm very interested. I thought the cover gives like very whimsical, it gives like very whimsical vibes straight from the cover, but I don't know if it's necessarily a whimsical book. But I've heard a lot of people have had such a great time reading this book, and I'm excited to see if we have a great time too. So this will be our next read, and we'll be starting The Rose Bargain. It has been a couple days, and I haven't had the time to read because I need to empty all my bookshelves. The guys for the windows are coming tomorrow, and they're going to be replacing like 20 windows and 2 doors in my house. So for the next 3 days, it's going to be pure chaos, but I'm not leaving my books exposed to all the elements. So while I am a little out of breath, I just climbed up and down the stairs. That's embarrassing. While I am taking the rest of my books down, I'm going to be listening to oh Lord, now I can't remember the book's name. The Rose Bargain. I'm going to be listening to The Rose Bargain and do 2 things at once. Take a look at my shelves though. So we have all of this to do today. Hello, Tony. Also, let's not judge my dusty shelves right now. We have most of the special editions all nice and done. I still have those books to put away. And then this one is completely done. Please ignore the mess. And these books down here are books that I am giving away. And before you judge me, Phantasma, I just need a new copy, and that's because I'm a crazy person. My cat literally ate the pages on the... Oh, I don't think you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. My cat literally ate the pages on this, so I'm going to just buy a new copy. And I know it's not a big deal, and somebody else will love this. And that is my husband's shelf, and it is extremely battered. He treats his books like crap. So I don't know what he wants to do with those. I don't know if I'll add an unhaul, but these are all my unhauls. And I think I'm going to add in all of my Jessie Hall books to the unhaul because I don't have any interest in reading them for some reason. So I'm going to put my headset on and start our book, and let's get going. Okay, we're all packed except for one set of books, but I don't think they'll get too messed up, honestly. They're in a box from like a box set, and I think they'll be fine. I have listened to the first 2 chapters of The Rose Bargain, and I think it's interesting. We have our FMC who is about to go to this Fae Queen. She is going to ask a bargain, and she says she's going to make her count because her sister said it wasn't worth it for her. We kind of went into a little bit of the history of the War of the Roses, which is actually one of my favorite time periods. and how this queen became queen when the red and the white were kind of fighting for who was going to be king. And I'm very interested to see where this story goes. So yeah, didn't get too far into it. I'm going to continue cleaning my bookshelves because they're all dusty and disgusting, even though they're probably going to get gross again anyways, and continue listening to The Rose Bargain. I have made it to page 104. And all of the girls have made their bargains. And I was thinking, would I even want to bargain anything? And I don't think I would. I don't think I would risk losing like fingers or toes or like tasting something I like. Like, that's terrifying. We also met a second prince, which I think we actually met at the beginning of the book, but tell me why I'm more interested in him than the one that I'm supposed to. I think it's interesting. I think it's a fun read. Pretty fast paced, so I'll bring you back when I have an update. It's been a little bit since I've updated you, and that's because I haven't put this book down. I'm now 284 pages in. I'm on chapter 28. This is like surprisingly very bingeable, very good. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. Oh, so you're seeing my computer reflected. Is that not the perfect bookmark for this? Besides the reflection? I'm having a crazy good time with this. I have now realized never, ever would I make a bargain for anything. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything else. No, these girls are being put through the ringer. Like, this is not what I expected. This is kind of nuts. All in the hopes of marrying this prince. And I love that we're getting chapters from some of the other contestants. And you're getting like pieces of backstory for each of these girls, and you're realizing why they're in the position they're in or why they requested this for their gift or their favor from the queen. I'm just loving it. I'm just eating it up. I mean, I know I've said that, but I don't want to spoil anything in the book. They're just being put really through like some horrible things. At the moment, I would say it's like a solid 4 stars. If you are in a book slump, I think this is going to be one of those perfect books that just rip you right out because they're going to like suck you straight into the pages and you're going to keep going. Yeah, I don't know if I'll read any more tonight. I'm going to play video games instead. I'm taking a break. I'm giving my brain a much needed rest. My windows are almost in now, and soon I will have my book space back. So things are going good. I'm going to continue probably reading this tomorrow, and I'll bring you back when I finish it. I finished this last night. Oh my gosh. I probably should have seen the plot twist coming, but I haven't read about Faye like this in quite a while, so it didn't even occur to me that this is what was going to happen. I'm so excited. That was so good. I love when books pleasantly surprise me. Was this the best book of the year? No, but I had a fantastic time with it. And it was definitely a solid 4-star. FairyLoot did a great job picking this one. I thought we were getting a Fae Bachelor and that it was going to be like, I don't choose you. I don't choose you. Here, you get a rose, you get a rose. Like, let's continue. It was so much more than that. I would highly recommend this book. It will tear you out of a reading slump, in my opinion, and it will just give you a silly good time, but with a nice plot twist at the end. This was fun. I loved the found family that ended up happening. I liked the girl friendships that grew. It was so nice to see the girls go from like these snarky, bitchy people to supporting one another. I loved it. And then you have kind of like these 2 MMCs, and they're both like delicious in their own ways. I don't know. If you've read this book, let me know if you saw the plot twist coming, because I don't know if it's just me, but I didn't see it. I don't know what I'm going to read next. I'm kind of thinking maybe like, I think it's called The Language of Dragons. Maybe. I have to find it. My windows should be done today and I get to unpack my books, and it's in a big box somewhere, all wrapped up nicely. So once I find it, I will probably start that one, but I'll let you know because my mood might change in between now and then. It's official. My windows are in. And my books are back on their bookshelves. I don't even know where all of these came from, but they're just stacked up there, so. Everything is almost back in place and looking pretty good. I've also got a huge stack of unhauls, so I will go through those quickly another time. The next book we're going to be reading is A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson, and I'm kind of excited to read this. This has been on my TBR for forever, honestly. I don't know why it's taken me so long to pick this up. I think I went through like a little synopsis at the beginning. So yeah, we're just going to pick this up and I'll bring you back with an update. I'm currently on page 75 of A Language of Dragons. It's pretty interesting. We have a queen that's a dragon, if I'm reading that correctly, and a prime minister who is human. And there is this pact where there is this peace treaty between them where they are agreeing not to kill humans and them not to hunt down dragons. And it's been like that for like 50 something years, I believe. And then we have our FMC, who is part of the second class. There's a lower class than that, that's third class, and then a higher one that's first class. And they get certain privileges depending on their classes. Our FMC in second class, she's able to have access to certain schools, and she's going to school to learn languages. And she knows like 3 human languages and 5 dragon ones. So she's pretty freaking smart. Her goal is to be a translator. Now, there's also something going on in the background, and we don't really know what yet, but you see these little rebellions start to happen, and you're seeing that people aren't as happy as you think they are. There's a lot of inequality between the classes and stuff like that. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Something big just happened to our main character and her family. She's given this opportunity to possibly make things better. So we shall see how this happens. But overall, I would say pretty solid start to this book. I'm pretty interested. I'm going to get ready for bed and probably pass out very soon. I'll probably read another 20-25 pages before I fall asleep. But just wanted to give you a quick update. And so far, so good. I finished my walk. I'm going to eat my lunch, chicken and broccoli, rice. Trying to eat a little bit healthier because I have an obsession with junk food. But I am just finishing up chapter 12 on audio. And it was a little slow for a bit, I'll be honest. It was getting a little slow and it took me a bit to pick it back up. But I am kind of interested in where this is going. It's getting better. I am extremely frustrated with something that's going on right now, and it has nothing to do with the writing of the book or the book itself. It's just I'm really mad about a situation that's occurring. And I love that the book is making me that mad, to be honest, because it means I care about the character. So it's getting pretty good. There's some new twists that have come into play, and I'm trying not to say too much without spoiling anything. And it's just very interesting so far. Like now it's starting to pick back up and I hope it keeps going. So I'll bring you back. I'll probably bring you back when I finish it, honestly. But so far we're trucking along and it's getting good again. I just finished A Language of Dragon and let's chat about it. I would say I gave this book overall like a 3.5. I would still recommend it to people, and it would have been a higher rating if the FMC didn't annoy the crap out of me. And I don't know, like she didn't annoy me at first. You go into this knowing it's a YA fantasy, right? You know that we are talking about younger school-aged children, even though like I think she's about to be 20. She might be 20, but to me, she didn't come across that old, even though I believe that's what she is in the book. The things she thinks in her head are just very juvenile to me. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but the decisions that she makes, I just wish she wouldn't have made them. That's it. The ending had some great scenes. Like, we get some great scenes with dragons at the end, but something big happens. Something really big. And I just found I didn't care. I didn't care that that happened. And it was my lack of emotional connection to the characters. And I just think it's because they were so young, that their mental thoughts sounded so much younger than I pictured them, or, you know. Plus, I have a feeling that whatever happened isn't going to stay for very long. So I don't know. Overall, I would say it was like, though, a 3.5. I don't want to say too much because I feel like it'll spoil a lot of the book, but it was fun. I had a great time reading it. So that leaves us with, is my FairyLoot boxes worth what I paid for them? We've read 3 books this go around. It was Language of Dragons, The Rose Bargain, and Windweaver. And I think if I were to rank them in order of what I loved the most to the least, I loved The Rose Bargain most, Language of Dragons, and then Windweaver. But I had a good time with all of them, even though there were multiple books where I did not agree with what the character said or did. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, I would say they're worth it. I think FairyLoot did a great job picking their books. And again, let me remind you though that these were, well, no, Windweaver was a was a FairyLoot romantasy box, and other 2 were YA fantasy, romantasy, something like that. I did not read any of my adult FairyLoot books yet, so I can't really comment on that, but I figure we'll do another video with that and the epic fantasy. So I have the Joe Abercrombie, The Devils, that we can do next time, and a couple, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and something else that we got. So far, I would say this is the only book box that I have enjoyed the books I've read overall. Most of my book boxes, I either never read them because I'm not interested in the book, so I've canceled them, or I just didn't like the books that they picked. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while we judged our FairyLoot books. If you have read any of these books, let me know what you thought, because I actually don't know anyone who has read any of them. And I'm so curious if you have a different opinion than me, or if you felt the same way. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. I hope y'all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.